What up?
Yo. Oh, you're looking sharp.
Always dapper for KFC. Kidding me? Let's
You
go.
motherfucker. This is not what I like to see on a
we got the
Friday.
1 minute man up in here. Let's go.
I love it. I love it. Thank
Guy
you.
has a 1 minute man that every single one is like 3 minutes long, by the way. By the way, and he's doing this. It's like going speed. He's got 14 different like computers. You can tell he's going this one. 3 different cameras going. The whole shebang.
I love it. Yeah, I found out that I got too much to say. I like hearing my own self. I'm like, all right, I'll keep it to a minute. Next thing I know, it's like 4.5 minutes long.
But it's so entertaining though,
Thank
because
you,
you're
man.
going so quick and the cuts and everything. I mean, you got the whole system.
I'm trying, man. It was one of those things like, I've been doing this shit for like 10 years, and I was like, all right, I can do this. I can just go. So hopefully it's working. I hope. I'm happy to hear you like it. So.
It entertains me.
Well, I feel like that means a lot coming from you because you got the gift of gab, man. You got it, and you've always had it, whether it's wrestling, whether it's, reality TV, whatever endeavor you go into next, you got it too, man. Is that something you knew about yourself from like, day one?
No.
No
100% not.
bullshit.
Like,
You're a liar.
I'm telling you. Like, yeah, do I speak well? Sure. Okay, great. But like even when I was in high school, like I'd have like book reports and stuff, and I would be the person that the people would be like, "Oh, you'll be great at it, right?" Because you talk it up there, and I'd kind of freeze.
Well,
But
I'll never forget though. When I was in high school, I was running for student government president, and there was 4 people running, and I went down and asked my dad. I go, "Dad, can you listen to my speech and tell me if it's pretty good?" And so I give him this speech. I pour my heart out to my father. My dad goes, "That was terrible. That was horrible." I go, "Oh, great. I'm probably going to lose." He goes, "Let's work on this." So my dad stayed up and worked with me on it. And I went in there and I did the speech and I got like a standing ovation.
All right.
And then I ended up winning the presidency of our student government
That's
at
a hell of
Normandy.
a story, man.
So was that your very first time? Like where finally? I feel like everyone who kind of works in media has that moment when they're younger where you realize like, oh shit, people are entertained by me. Was that your first one?
That was the first time where a speech worked, where I felt the goosebumps and you felt like, ooh, I got him. Like I got the crowd.
Yeah.
And so I guess that was the first time that ever happened. But the first time I was actually in WWE as like a host, I was hosting like the Diva Search. And I'll never forget, like I was supposed to say this one catchphrase. It was like, I can't remember. It was like the sexiest women on the planet or something like that. And when I was announcing the catchphrase, the tagline that I was supposed to get, I messed up the words. And I messed up the tagline. And
Yikes.
I was like, and in my head, I went, "Oh my God, you just messed up the tagline. Oh my God, you just messed up." Then all of a sudden my brain froze.
Yeah.
Mind you, there are 15,000 people watching live in an arena, millions watching at home.
Yeah.
And all I'm thinking about is, what's my next line? I don't have a
You
line.
can't
What am I
recover
doing?
it,
I don't know
yes.
what's going on. I have a cold sweat going. I don't know what's happening. And then I have to remember the phone number. And I wrote it on my wrist. However, I was sweating so much that
It ran
the phone number erased off my arm. So I was like, just call the
number.
Google it.
And thankfully they put it up on the Tron, but I messed up the entire thing. I remember going back into like the gorilla position, as we call it, and looking at Vince going, "Vince, I promise you this will never happen. I will work on it nonstop."
Yeah.
And I've been working on it ever since to never have that feeling of just freezing.
Bombing,
And
yeah.
I don't know if you guys have ever froze, like even when you're on the radio or anything, but when you freeze, there's nothing that can help you.
The first time I was in, I worked at the radio that I went to college at, and I was just doing like the 1 minute, like Minuteman stuff back then too, where you're just doing like a sports update. And I had, just like a piece of paper, and you're supposed to just read the scores and the schedule. And it was like when you're running downhill and you can't keep up with your legs, And I got ahead of myself, and I couldn't keep to the script. And I was like, I mean, it was not even English, sweating the whole 9, out of breath. I almost like passed out. All I was doing was talking. And mercifully, this update ends, and I like walk back out to like the bullpen area of the radio station, and everyone's looking at me like, Well, like, and one guy was just like, well, we'll have to work on that. And it was like totally almost unspoken. Like, yeah, that fucking stunk, dude.
And it's also funny because like I still will slur a word here and there because we're live.
Yeah,
Like you don't get 2 takes, 3 takes. We're live. I'll slur a word and it aggravates me so much because I want everything to perfection. You know,
Right.
like I want people to be able to feel it. Like I remember this one promo. Everyone says it's like my best promo I've ever done. I watch it and I can't stand it because I am bummed. Because you know when you get really angry, like really heated, you can't speak because your brain is going so fast that your mouth can't regurgitate what's going on in your head.
Yep.
I had one of those moments on a show called Talking Smack on WWE, and I went off. Like I remember feeling like the just heat just go. I remember getting goosebumps and just going blank. And I don't even remember what I said or what I did. I got done and everyone was just like, whoa. And I mean, I got texts from like people that like normally don't really ever text me being like, that was the greatest promo I've ever seen. I had to go back and watch it because I don't remember what I was saying. And I watched it and I go, oh my God, this is terrible. I'm bumbling. I'm slurring words.
Yeah, but it's
you can
real,
see the
right? It's
anger.
the emotion. Yeah, nobody really
Yeah,
cares
that's
about
what people like
the
the most about
technical execution. They're just like, whoa, this dude is fucking raging right now, or he's being funny, or whatever the emotion is. That's what the people want to see. They don't care about the pronunciation of a word here or there.
Yeah, but I want both.
Yeah,
I want
of course.
the execution and
Yeah.
I want the feeling. And sometimes it just doesn't happen.
Right. But that's I think that's what your personal drive is. But as long as the audience is hearing the passion, like, the rest of it catches up. I feel like in wrestling for me, like the mic work is it. Like you need, of course, the high flying stunts. You need the mankinds of the world to take the bumps. You need all that shit, of course. But, the greats, it's all about the mic work, right?
Yeah, I mean, when growing up, my favorites were, and it's energy as well.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
My favorites growing up were like Ultimate Warrior, and Ultimate Warrior's promos would just be screaming and yelling nonsense. Oh, the spaceship with the rocket till the Ultimate Warrior, and literally, you just loved the energy that he gave you because it made you feel that. And then I'd watch up into my high school years where The Rock would get in there. Yeah. And anything The Rock would say or do, you would want to know what was going to happen next.
Right.
And so that's what I carry over to what I wanted to do. Like I wanted to be able to ensure that I gave the energy and passion and believability to an audience that they will believe anything I say.
Right.
And when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do something. Like right now, I'm Mr. Money in the Bank. Being Mr. Money in the Bank means I have a contract that I can cash in anytime, anywhere on a WWE or Universal champion. Right now, it's Randy Orton and Roman Reigns. Now, Roman Reigns is the champion of SmackDown, which is on Fox. Randy is the champion of Raw, which is on USA. And I can go to either show and cash in. So let's put something out there. Say Randy Orton gets thrown through a table. I can walk out there and say, I want to go up against Randy Orton right now. He can't even get up. Good. That's even better for me. I'm going to pin him 1, 2, 3 and be WWE champion. I'm like Willy Wonka. I have the golden ticket.
Yeah. You got the keys to the nukes. Yeah. I mean, that's the kind of shit that I love most about wrestling too, is like, I remember when they made the hardcore belt and it was just like, this whole new fucking idea, like it just radically changed what it meant to like win a belt or when you could have a match or whatever. To me, that's like where the creativity of wrestling is like unparalleled. Is that something like those broad ideas? Is that Vince? Is there like a team of story writers?
Everything, to be honest.
Yeah.
A lot of it is like the WWE universe and what they're gravitating towards.
Right.
No one would have believed I think 8 months ago that Otis would win the Money in the Bank contract in a ladder match because Otis is like a big guy. Mm-hmm. Like he is just round. He's like 300 pounds of pure solid muscle and he's just incredibly entertaining. And it ended up where he didn't even climb the ladder. The briefcase got taken off the thing and dropped right in his lap. And then cut to 8 months later, I tried to get the Money in the Bank contract off of him. I didn't think that was ever going to come to fruition. Right. I had no idea. And it just, as time progressed, developing, it started becoming a reality where I was like, oh man,
shit, yeah,
I should be Mr. Money in the Bank. because I can do what no one else can do with a money in the bank contract. I am a bad guy. I am the ultimate opportunist. When an opportunity presents itself, I will cheat, I will lie, I will steal, I will do whatever it takes to win because I'm a winner.
Right. I love it. How fun is it to have that be like your persona and your character to just like?
Oh my God! Imagine you get to do whatever you want in a WWE ring. Say what you imagine being the Minuteman in WWE. Do you have any idea how much fun our fans would have with the Minuteman?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Let's make it happen, Miz. Come on. I mean, I'm made of glass, so I can't take any bumps or anything. But let's play out this idea. I could get down with a little mic work.
You could be a manager.
There you go. Exactly.
You could come in and you could just chit chat your way all the way through and just have the guy get beat up, and you're just like, hey, I'm just right here. I'm just being a Minuteman here.
I love it, dude. I mean, the name is perfect. Let's go. Is there anything? So like, you're doing different projects in different fields. Is there anything where some guys don't break character at all? Like Undertaker famously was, I think up until very recently, like never was out of character. Is that something you get to decide or they decide or how does that work?
Well, it's kind of me. Like, to be honest, like I've got Ms. and Mrs. Like I have a reality show where you can watch literally how I am with my wife, Maurice, who is another WWE superstar. You can watch me with my child, my two little girls. One's 2.5, one's 1, Madison Monroe. And it's kind of a reality show. And the way my wife and I said we were going to do this show is only if we could do it how we wanted to do it and what's real and what's true to us. And so that's kind of how this developed. And luckily, all of our drama ends up being really funny. So all of our hell ends up being everyone else's delight.
Are we doing a Kardashian thing here with the M's? Is that a theme? Everybody going to be an M?
Is that what we're doing? I didn't realize that was a Kardashian theme.
Well, they famously did all
Buena Murray
Ks.
Buena Murray, the production company that does Keep It Up with Kardashians, does do Ms. and Mrs. So maybe they got it from there. I don't know. I mean, they're widely successful. So
it's a good recipe to follow.
I don't know. Would they have 10 seasons? I would love
18.
Let's ride that way, man.
18, no, 19, right?
Yeah, I think it was like 18 years, 15 seasons, something crazy like that. Yeah, that's the dream right now, man.
So we gotta talk about this personality real quick. So your character, it's just you. Like you're just this confident and happy.
You're witnessing it right now.
God,
like I go
damn, that must be. What is that like, dude? What's it like to just be confident?
You don't have any of that?
None,
I mean,
Miz.
you have to be kind of confident to have your own radio show.
He sells himself short.
Miz, we do it in a room fucking empty. There's
I'm noticing. I was like looking at that. You two look like you're like hugging.
Yeah.
It's like a really tiny room in New York or Chicago.
No, we're in New York, that's what it is.
And you guys are like just squished in. You have like your crappy like lighting tools that you use. I don't even think you guys use lighting. I think you feel like you're using like the lights. Like my wife bought strategic lights for every but she has LED lights back here. I don't know if you noticed that. Like she made it really professional. I feel like you guys just said, hey, give us a TV screen, throw the logo on it, give us some headphones, let's go, call it a day.
This is why I have no confidence, because we have thousands of dollars of lighting in here.
But you know what we don't have? I think what we needed is like the touch of a woman. Because when I come in here, it's like, let me just blast this pasty face with this fucking spotlight. We needed someone to be like, let's work your better side. Let's work this angle,
you know? Plant.
Yeah, look at that. You got foliage.
Get a plant in there. Show a little color.
What is, how's it like working with the lady? I'm always interested in people who's, your careers.
Honestly, it's amazing. Like when we were working as a WWE superstar, I was the Intercontinental Champion at the time, and she was by my side. I don't think I was ever better in a ring than I was then. I mean, whenever you have a beautiful woman basically backing up everything you say, if you say you're the best, you're the greatest, you're number one, and then you got this hot, smart, like sexy, strong woman next to you saying, yeah, he is, he is,
right.
He is. It's like, yeah, here we go. You got to believe it, right?
Right, but okay,
so
but then awesome. What happens?
Now we get to be with Ms. and Mrs. where we get to film our day-to-day life. And honestly, it's brought our family closer together. Like the only reason my dad ever comes to my house isn't to see my daughters, his grandchildren. No, it's to be on Ms. and Mrs. That's it. I go, hey, Dad, want to come for Thanksgiving? He goes, are you filming Ms. and Mrs.? I said, no. He goes, well, then no.
It's COVID, right? I mean, you're such a grinder. You work so hard and do everything. Does it ever feel like when you come home, you're still working because of the show? And most of the time you are?
No, not really. Like when I'm home, I'm literally throw the camera, throw the phone out, and I just play with my daughters. And like the cool thing about, so with all the negativity and everything that's going on with COVID and everything, like it allowed me, usually we're on the road 250 days a year and we have live events all over. I'm traveling all over the world. Now I'm only traveling once a week, which is very, very minimal for me. So I got to actually spend time with my daughters and really get to watch them grow. And not only that, I taught my daughter how to swim. And it was like the coolest moment when you say, it's okay, jump in the deep end. You're 2.5 years old. You got this. Mm-hmm. And she jumps in and swims to you. And you're like, I did it.
Right.
I mean, I'm a man. I'm not going to cry, but, I did it.
I was going to say, I feel like you're teaching your kids to swim is just throwing them in the deep end.
It kind of, yeah. Well, jumping, they jump themselves. I'm not throwing them in. They're jumping themselves. You're doing it.
What's it like? So she's hyping you up in the ring, right? And then what's it like though on a night where you guys, Rocky night, you guys are fighting or something like that, and then you got to go out there and you're doing your work and you're the fucking man, and she's got to be by your side. But then when the cameras are off, you guys go home and you're like, well, no, like fuck this.
You have to focus on your job.
Yeah,
like,
that's not easy though,
also,
man.
Like we have arguments, but the best part about my wife and myself is that we respect one another. We know that we're not always going to agree on everything. It's just impossible.
Right.
And if I did agree with everything, then I'm just being you. And she doesn't want me to just be her. I don't want her to just be me. I want her to be her. That's why I married her. And she wants me to be me. That's why she married me. So we'll butt heads. Like we fight all the time. But the best part about our fights is that we learn new things about each other. And whether we agree or disagree, we end up making up. And it's usually a lot of fun.
Now, that's a very strong relationship you're describing. Not one that usually starts off, as I understand, with you coming out of the closet to her. Was that what happened? Yeah. You were trying to learn French to impress her, and you just said you're gay?
No, I did not. Never did I ever do that.
Oh, well, first of all, you agreed with it. No,
definitely not.
Dude, I was reading a website that was like, when you guys were getting to know each other, you tried to learn French to impress her. Okay,
that's why you have real news where you can get it from me, or you can go on the internet for that really, really good news.
I was trying to do some
obviously
research.
That's
this is why you don't do research.
It sounds like a story. Like my dad goes on podcasts and he embellishes the truth to make it a better story. So he lies a lot. So sometimes it's probably a podcast my dad was on. It's like, I don't know. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, this said
so
that in French you said
this.
you were gay. You said you botched the wording and came out to her or something. That's what the internet said.
Never, no. So my wife didn't speak English when I first met her.
Okay.
And I was the host of a Diva Search and she was a contestant. And she walks in and she was like, hello, my name Maurice. Don't speak much English. And I was like, hey, just, move along, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, 2 years down the line, she speaks broken English. We were out in WWE. I asked her to go out with us afterwards, after Monday Night Raw. And she's like, sure, okay, I go, no problem. I'm sitting at one table. She goes and sits with the guys at the other table. And I'm like, well, why would she do that? So then after everyone left, it was after hours. We go out, we're in the parking lot, we're chit-chatting, and she was like, all right, I'm getting tired. I was like, all right, well, I'll make sure you get home safely. We're driving to the same spot anyway. So as she's driving, I go, pull over. Like I call her, and I'm like, pull over. She pulls over, and I take her to like this adult toy store, because I was like, look, I don't want to get in the friend zone. Like, I want to make sure that this girl knows, like, I'm into her.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really into her. Like, I'm not a friend. I'm not your buddy. I'm not the guy you pat on the back. I'm the guy that you're with.
Yeah.
So we walk into this adult toy store, and she is just looking at me like, this is weird. I've never, because it was a very seedy adult store. Like I was thinking like it was going to be like a Larry Flynn on Sunset or something like that.
Now this
Not
had
so much.
This had the pound off
not in
rooms in the
Wichita,
back.
Kansas. Not in Wichita, Kansas. So we go into this place and there's like swings and like, there's a mask with a ball. And I'm like, so are you into that? I'm sitting there, I'm just asking her like, you into that? I'm just trying to figure out what she's getting more weird and more weirded out as the time progressed. I'm like, look, we just got to go. So we ended up going into the parking lot and we ended up talking the entire night up until our flight, which was like 4 a.m.
Wow.
So after I got done with that conversation with her, I told myself, like, I need to find a woman like that. That's the type of woman that I want. And this was 2008, maybe. And I feel like we've been together ever since.
Yeah.
And by the way, I flew home that day and went to Barnes & Noble and bought a French-speaking book and tried to learn French. Pretty hard.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. And didn't learn French. Didn't teach me anything. But I married the girl, so it worked.
Well, what'd you end up buying at that
That's
store?
the real story.
Well,
You know what? Better. Than,
It's a better one. That's a bold move, though. Have you ever pulled a bold move on a first date or when you met a girl?
That was a first date.
No, I know.
Is there anything more bold than that? Saying, "Hey, let's go to an adult toy store."
But have you ever done one like that didn't work? This one clearly worked. But have you ever done one that just completely blew up in your face?
I mean, that was the riskiest one I've ever taken. No, nothing that like really blew up in my face. Nothing I can remember off the top of my head. How about you?
How about me? Yeah, we only got 10 more minutes, bud.
Did you end up buying the swing and the mask or what?
We did not, and we haven't still to this day. I think I freaked her out. I mean, if she wants to buy a swing, I'll buy a swing.
I'm not saying no. I feel like you've had so much success, and it all began at the real world, right? All began in the reality TV realm. Is that something that you like? There's other entertainers who have come through that road, and I think sometimes try to downplay it or not talk about it or bring it up. Do you care, or is it something that you?
No, I loved it. I loved every moment that Real World brought to me. Like I was on MTV's The Real World back in 2000
Yeah,
20 years ago.
God damn.
And I wouldn't be where I am to this day if it wasn't for The Real World. The Real World taught me, like, for where I'm from, which is Cleveland, Ohio. You go to a college. Once you're done with college, you go back to Cleveland. You get a job. You get a family, and that's what you do for the rest of your life. And blah blah blah. Once I tried out for The Real World and I made it on The Real World, it showed me that I could do whatever my mindset is in there. And that's where I said, I'm going to be a WWE superstar. So if it wasn't for The Real World, I'd probably be working for my dad at his local sub shop of Mr. Hero.
Yeah. Hey, listen, that sounds good though, Mr. Hero. I'm down with that.
It's cheesesteaks. So your boy Dave Portnoy can go there and he can do a little cheesesteak review.
All right, we should set that up. I think
I'll whip up one for him because I used to work there literally my entire high school time. I was like, he's doing cheesesteaks now? Are you kidding me?
Was there any moment when you first started that like was that did anybody like give you shit for coming from reality TV to the wrestling world? Like you didn't pay your dues and all that shit?
I moved to LA and no one, like, even if I was they wouldn't even let me audition.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't even be able to audition because we already know you from Real World. We already know you from reality. We don't want that. Like back then, like you were the worst thing ever. Like you were the worst thing that's ever come to Hollywood. Now I feel like everything is embraced because everything's a reality show.
Right.
Everything. Like you look at, YouTubes or like Instagrams, like what the biggest movie star in the world is doing, The Rock, because he posts every day.
Because it's all money,
I
man.
remember watching. By the way, during the pandemic, what kept me the most entertained was like your 9-episode documentary that you did on Instagram for Barstool Sports. Like it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Like those things kept me like I couldn't wait for them to come out every week. So I was like, oh man, it was amazing the way that Barstool was brought up. And now it is a huge entity.
Yeah, and we were kind of the same way. Where like
you guys were working hard with it.
Yeah, and at times it used to be kind of looked down upon, or you're a blogger.
The hardest when we first started, the hardest thing was like telling family members what we do for a job.
You're a blogger.
You try and like explain it, like, I work in sports media, I work in media, I work on a website. Like you would never say blog.
Yeah, I'm a writer.
But you believed in it.
Yeah.
You believed in everything that you were doing, and you were able to do what you wanted to do. And I just think that's so admirable.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of cut from the same cloth. You're just, running around your underpants.
We've actually talked about that before. Where like we all, like, people say like Barstool's big now, and it is, and we always felt like we made it, quote unquote, when we just made enough to pay rent. Like it didn't like that was like, all right, we made it.
That was the goal.
We're happy doing our job, and we make enough to live, so we're good. We made it. What's your like? I made it. When did it snap for you? Was that Road Rules or was that
Man, I'm
later?
still trying to make it. Like even in WWE, sometimes I feel like I don't get the respect I feel like I want. Maybe that I feel like I deserve. I've won every title there is to win. But yet sometimes I feel like, you'll read Twitter here and there and you'll see all the negative comments. You don't deserve to be there. We hate you. You're the worst. But honestly, I look at those as compliments because they motivate me. They drive me.
Yeah.
And it's some nerd in his basement just typing away. So I use it as fuel. And then also, like, I'm also working on my wife and I are working on our production company, Mad Row Productions, where we're developing shows now. So not only do we have Ms. and Mrs., not only am I a WWE superstar, not only is my wife a WWE superstar, but we also have shows that we're also working on to develop for the masses and other people as well. So, it's always a never-ending grind. Like, I'm never satisfied. I always want more.
That's the method. That's how we roll here. One of the things that we spun off of from the show is called Answer the Internet. So it's a series of hypothetical questions we've gotten from our readers and whatnot over the years. We're gonna hit you with a couple right now. So the Miz does Answer the Internet. What's your go-to game plan if the zombie apocalypse hits and you can't just say like I'll die? What's your game plan?
I don't think the Miz was gonna say he dies.
No, I don't think so either.
No, I'm ready to fight.
Yeah, but like, okay, so
guns.
You got guns. What's your go-to weapon? What's your game plan? Are you fortifying the house?
I've got a shotgun, and I've got a 9mm. Like I never was a gun guy until I lived in Los Angeles, like in Hollywood, and I have a family, right? And I would leave, and they always tell you, don't ever tell anyone where you live. Or not where you live, but like that you're leaving. Like, don't put it on Instagram, this is live. But I'm on a live television show.
Right, they're gonna know.
Like, what do you want me to do?
Right.
And I'll never forget, I put cameras all over my house, and my house had an attempted break-in. And it happened on numerous weeks. So I took my wife. I was like, look, you're getting a gun. We're gonna take you. We're gonna learn how to shoot them and figure out the best possible way to do that. So we are protected if we ever need to be protected.
So you got the real life game plan.
Who knows what would happen? There was 4 guys.
Wow.
Four grown men coming into my house. Like, who knows what could have happened?
Right.
Is that the same situation that led to your, and maybe this is true, maybe it's not, because I read on the internet, that led to your wife putting the house on the market without talking to you?
Yeah. We moved out of there, and we actually left Los Angeles. We moved to Texas for a year, and then now we're in a guard-gated community. And we have gates, we have with the whole shebang, like really high alert security.
Smart.
All right. At what moment do you think you officially become a man?
First hair. Squeeze the hair down there. You're a man.
This is an interesting question.
If you can create, you are a man.
I was very late to that. And my high school team, like our hockey showers after practice, I remember everyone was like, "Oh shit, Fights has pubes now," and it was like a big deal.
This is a question we ask other people hypothetically. You're kind of actually living it. It usually goes, how much money would it take for you to be the villain on The Bachelor or Bachelorette? Now, you already kind of play a villain. Was that ever something like, you wanted to be a face, but they told you to be a heel? And
no, I'm naturally a bad guy. Like, I'm naturally a person. I just have one of those faces that you want to punch.
Yeah.
And so
I disagree with that. I think I do.
Naturally that way.
You gotta smile.
I think you got a nice face. I'm gonna stand up for the Miz.
Thank you.
If you were doing something like The Bachelor though, or Bachelorette, if you were a dating show type of thing, would you be the villain in that?
100%. It'd be so much fun. Like, think about all the things you could do to the other like men that are like vying for this woman's, like, you could just prank them all day long.
Especially you, dude. Like, I mean,
oh my God,
you put those kids in a locker.
You're a 3-headed monster, and you have to select the other 2 heads. The first head is one of your idols. The second is your biggest enemy. Who are the two heads you're picking?
Oh God, I don't really have a lot of enemies.
So it doesn't mean enemy. It could be someone you hate.
Just a person you hate.
Right.
I don't hate people.
Come
I'm
on.
a person that
Oh,
loves
fuck
people.
off.
You
What-
just said you
love
wanted to be the
people.
villain.
So I would have my wife as the second head because then I could just talk to her all day long, get smooches in here and there. So that'd be great. And then I would put, you know what? I'd put my mother-in-law, Marjo, because she is something else. Let me tell you something. Like when you live with your mother-in-law, it is a whole new world. Everything revolves around your mother-in-law. And it is crazy, it is chaotic, and it is drama-filled all day long.
And you
Are
can
you-
catch it on the Ms. and Mrs.
Are you
You
Beautiful
can catch
plug.
it right here on the Ms. and Mrs. each and every Thursday.
like, is there ever a time where you're like, look, come on, you understand that this is all mine, right? Like, you honestly be like, I run the show. I know you're running the show, but I literally run this show.
Wait a second.
Take
Are
a
you
step.
married? This is
Am-
ours.
Am I-
Yeah.
This is ours. Okay, it's
No, but
not mine.
I'm talking
If
about the
anything,
mother-in-law.
It's hers.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say if
You think
anything,
I
it's hers.
decorated
Yeah.
any room in this house? Do you think I have a man cave? And if I did have a man cave, it would have her decor all over it. I'd have no say in anything in this household.
But like, doesn't that make you want to be like, this is crazy? Why don't I have any say?
Oh, yeah. You say that to my wife. You do not. Have you ever had a girlfriend or a wife or been engaged? I feel like you haven't.
I
feel
just
like
moved
you're a
in.
single
He
guy
just started.
in a house,
Miz,
a
he
studio.
just
where
moved in
you're-
with a girl, and I always tell him, like, this is how it's gonna go. And he's like, not me, dude. I'm like, all right, we'll fucking see, pal.
No, it's always not me
Always.
until it's me.
Yes, you're the one guy out of the 8 billion who's figured it out. Not gonna be you. Nope.
I'm gonna figure it out. And I'll write a book when I'm done.
You better, if you
teach,
do.
I'll
Next
teach
year,
both
we're
of you a
gonna-
lesson.
Next year, we're going to do the same thing, and you're going to be on, and you're going to go,
Yeah.
yeah, I get it. I understand now.
I love it. All right, dude. We really appreciate the time. You're a busy man. Get back to it. So Mrs. Mrs. is out every Thursday, you said?
Yep, every Thursday, 10:30, 9:30 Central on USA Network.
My man.
Dude.
Thanks so much. Keep it up, all right?
Thanks, boys.
Thank you.
Have a
Have a
good
good
one.
one.
Later.
I'm gonna hit you with a little YouTube sabermetrics, okay? Only 15% of people who watch the videos on the KFC radio channel are actually subscribed. That means
Oh, you fucking lurkers. I'm
right?
tired. Yeah, I'm
free
tired of
85%
lurkers.
freeloaders.
Retweet, like, fucking heart on Instagram.
Rate, review, subscribe.
If you enjoy content, double tap it.
Literally-
double tap to subscribe.
Just click. It doesn't. I think you only have to click it once, not even double.
Well, okay,
just
fine.
one click.
But I'm not a mathematician. Just a one click works.
Because
if that's what it
I don't
is.
want. If you double click, you might subscribe and then unsubscribe.
Oh, true.
So just one
well,
click.
then 3 clicks.
3 clicks to subscribe, because otherwise, I mean, it literally doesn't affect you at all, and it will basically make our careers so much better.
Oh,
Please
so much
fucking
better.
do it.
Oh, you'll get us so good.
Please.
You'll get us going
Come
so
on.
good. 85% of you. Triple
Don't
like.
be poor.
Triple time. The thing. The subscribe thing.
Smash that button, as they say.